I'm often hired to mentor, to coach people, especially in being an expat or a digital nomad or an entrepreneur starting your own business. And one of the things that always comes up is, what are the tips involved? There are no tricks, but what are the tips you can do, things that a person can do to make that path easier? One of the things that keeps coming up over and over again that I talk to, especially with a lot of young men, and this applies to women too, I suppose. Feel free to tell me in the comments. Actually, I'm probably going to make quite a few people upset. That's okay. When you come after me in the comments, just spell my name right and remember to keep it civil. Like it or not, I'm still going to ask you to make sure you click the subscribe and the thumbs up button to share this somewhere. I don't care if you share it with, wow, this dude is an idiot, or, hey, YusefWateef is pretty clever. I don't know. But I want to talk about three things that gave me a distinctly unfair advantage in life. I mean, a ridiculously unfair advantage in the way that my life has progressed. And I named this children, narcotics, and liquor for three things in my life that I can safely say to you, understanding how they work and staying away from them gave me such a ridiculous advantage that it's hard to describe it, because how do you describe what didn't happen? So I'm going to start with the big one, the elephant in the room, child-free. Some people call it child-free. Some people call it child-free by choice. Some people just say, hey, you didn't have any kids. I'm not here to tell anyone that kids are good or bad. What I can tell you is I've seen that because I chose not to have children, I was free to make certain business decisions that didn't work out. I'm not going to focus on the things that I did that worked. I'm focusing on things I can say to you did not work. The business plans that I had that just completely failed, just flopped hard, because I was able to bounce back until I found some that did work, because I had that time on my hands. Most of my friends that fall into a situation where they have children can't take those risks. I've taken risks with money, time, business ideas, and for the record, time is my most valuable, well, it's anyone's most valuable commodity. The other issue I've seen with every person that I know that's given me a lot of peace of mind is when you have children, you are not your own. And I do not mean that in the context of children. I mean, I don't know a single man who has either been in a relationship with a girlfriend or a wife or a woman that he simply had a child with that was not at some point put into a situation where he was grimly reminded that his future, being inexorably tied to his child, was inexorably tied to how she decided she wanted him to interact with that child, because if she chose to, she could make that interaction almost impossible. Are all women this way? I don't know. I'm not waiting to find out. I can tell you that I don't know any woman who started out in a relationship that way, but I've seen several from the men's side and the women's side. I never wanted to give anyone that kind of leverage in my life. And I want to be clear, this is selfish. This is extraordinarily selfish. But the freedom I found at financial security early in life, not being rich, simply being able to walk away from the system and the game with no debt and plus an education, that's a selfish move. My decision to leverage my education and say, well, I could be doing really well in America or doing extraordinarily well in other countries where my level of work ethic and the tools that I have are uncommon, so I am paid more, that is selfish. That's extraordinarily selfish. But I know who I am, and let's be very clear. Oh, hey, good morning, reigning woman. Hey, listen, if you want a link, if you want to come up to the big house, let me know. You want to come up and say hello, reigning woman? What I'll tell you is that why would anyone as selfish as I am want to have a child? And it's awkward because I know me. The other two, well, maybe they're a little more lighthearted. Maybe they're a little more easier to digest. And if anybody wants to go back to that, let me know. The part about drugs and alcohol, let's start with alcohol. Of all the things that I do that make people feel, uh-oh, reigning woman wants to enter the fray. Let's see. I'm going to say, reigning woman, I need you to, you want to come on up? text me your email, and yeah, text me your email, and I'm going to shoot you a link. Looks like we're going to get a guest on the team. Let's see here. Forgive me for stepping away from your attention. I'm opening up my email, waiting for her email, and then as soon as she sends me that, I'm going to send her a join link. I'm going to start with, like I said, one of the things that makes people feel very uncomfortable around me, and I of all the weird shit that I do, the most uncomfortable one is the one that says I just don't use alcohol, and I never have, and I've never tried it. I'm not a recovering alcoholic. Alcoholism was in my family. My parents drank too much, but I can't tell you of a time when I've ever seen anything good come out of it. Now, here's the problem. There are plenty of situations where nothing bad happened. Plenty. But I've never seen a situation where something good happened, where you can look up and say, you know what? Life is better because alcohol was involved. I've never seen that. I don't know that that exists. So for me, because I am this atypical, tight-fisted, over-analytical, I'm never going to allow anyone to have any control over what I do or where I go. I never wanted to be in a situation where my mind didn't work the right way. I've seen what happened. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can get this email up. I've never wanted to be in a situation where I wasn't in complete control, where I wasn't in a situation. I can't do two things at once. I mean, I'm good at a lot of stuff, but one at a time. So I'm typing out her email. There we go. All right. So check your email. Your email is sent. So going back to what I was saying is, I've never been in a situation where I've seen something good happen. I've seen plenty of times when nothing bad at all has happened. Most of the people that I know that use alcohol have never done anything wrong. But I've never been in a situation where not being on top of your game 100% is a bad thing. I've had so many opportunities fall my way because I'm always the guy that everyone knows they can call at any point and I'm going to be sharp. There's never a, oh, I wonder what condition he's going to be in or if he's been out partying. I've had clients, and I relate everything to money because shout out to, well, listen, I've done a couple shows on money. Everybody here knows I like money. Everybody here knows I think money is the most important thing you will ever have or ever do. If you want to be mad about that, that's fine. But I've made a lot of money by being somebody to look at and say, yeah, YusefWateef can be a bit of a prick. However, he is sharp. He's going to have his shit together, and he's not going to wait around. He's not going to be one of those men who I can call and wonder if he's going to be emotional about it. I can wonder if he's going to, be under a false influence. I mean, it just doesn't work that way for me. So shout out to, hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys, let's see, there. I'm going to share a screenshot with you of something that I want everybody to take a chance to go back and see. Did a show with brother RJ Rochelle, and it was called Money is Everything. And that's a good show. I definitely want everybody to get a chance to go back and look at that one. There. The last one about narcotics, and I didn't want to say drugs. I said narcotics. I don't use any drugs or narcotics, but I'm fully aware that there are different levels to it. I can tell you that over a period of time, everyone I've seen get involved in any narcotics ended up in a worse position than they started. Now, here's the thing. I know people that came from a lot of money or earned a lot of money, and that downslide took decades. But nobody beats the game, because the first thing you lose when you start dealing with that stuff is the respect, attention, and access to people who see the danger. I can tell you, I'm very stuck up in my views about things like that. There are people that were friends to me the very first time I was in a social situation and anything like that was ever brought out. Oh, Time for me to call my Uber. And I just cut them out of my social life. And they would say to me, why? This is not a big deal. And I say, I agree it's not a big deal, but I don't want to be in a situation where it might be. Also, I'm scared of jail. I'm not doing anything that could possibly put me in a situation. Listen, if the cops even show me a picture of jail, I'm telling everything. And I'm telling you that online. YusefWateef is not a gangster. YusefWateef is not about that life. You don't want to do anything involving drugs around me because I'm scared. I'm telling you ahead of time, if you do anything, it's like, I'm ranting. It's okay, this is YouTube, I can rant. But I want to be clear. Oh, here we go. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Turn up your volume. I can hear you. I was just saying turn your volume up a little bit.
Uh-oh. If I turn the volume, it's going to turn you up.
There we go. There it is. There you go. Just make sure I'm not playing in your background.
Okay, hold on a second, okay?
Oh,
hold on a second.
Come on to say hold on.
I needed to close the door to my office.
Oh, okay.
Well, good. Okay, it's morning for me. Good morning, Yusef.
Do I get to see your face? Am I going to get stuck with the picture?
Actually, right now, you're going to be stuck with my picture because I am in my pajamas. And okay. Yeah, so...
I understand. Sometimes if I don't really feel my mustache has been groomed properly, I'm a little self-conscious about going live. I get over it. I mean, I realize I'm me, so 1 or 2 stray hairs doesn't really kill anything.
I tell you
so
what.
Going backwards.
Go ahead, dear.
No, you said I'll tell you what. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I forgot what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
And you have to forgive me for being a little giddy because I'm here by surprise. I was not expecting you to invite me up. And so I get a little giddy sometimes around the new masculine energy. So,
oh, flattery will get you everywhere. Listen, a man only has one true enemy, and that is his ego. And I try to know what my ego is. The trouble is, so does everybody else.
I get it. So, would you like me to chime in on some of the things that you said?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so from what I've heard so far is, first of all, that you have never drank any alcohol or partaken in any narcotics of any sort.
Wait, was that a question? No,
Yeah.
not even once in my entire life.
Is absolutely awesome. I want to first your ability to be different, and to make that may have caused you to be ostracized for not trying to be popular or fit in, and yet be so comfortable and so well developed in who you are, and being able to say that without any kind of embarrassment or any fear of shame intact, any of that. But so, I mean, the confidence that you have said, the strength. I really
Say that one more time. It got a little loud here all of a sudden when you came on.
I said I really want to acknowledge your ability and your willingness to share with confidence, and your ability to responsible choices throughout life, to be different or an outcast, or to not just be popular, or even at the risk of being for being different. So I just wanted to acknowledge that statement this morning.
Well, I want to say I have an advantage, and this is something I always stress to people. I've never been cool to begin with. I was the nerd who wore comic book T-shirts and got beat up for it. So for me to do stuff that made me extra weird, like staying away from drugs and alcohol, it kind of fit the profile. Nobody was trying to hang out with me anyway, and so I was like, why would I do what those people do? Do me a favor, if you have my audio playing on YouTube, click mute on the YouTube so that only we hear each other, because I may get some feedback. Hold on 1 second. I said, turn me off of the mute. There we go. I said, mute the YouTube. Were you able to hear what I just said? Uh-oh, looks like she muted herself. Yeah, going back to what I said, though, I said, were you able to mute yourself? Not yourself. Mute the YouTube channel in the background, not anything here where we are talking. It's awkward when we have two screens going. And for the record, for anyone watching, does this little ring light that I bought, I got one of those makeup ring lights that girls put on their cell phones, and I put it over my computer to see if it made things a little easier to see on my face while I'm talking, and I don't know if it helped or not. So if anybody wants to tell me in the comments whether or not this is a good thing, whether or not it makes a difference at all, really appreciate it. And as I said before, what I'm telling people about these three issues, I wish I could tell you that it was true for, okay, so it does make a difference. Thank you. Well, that was my fun little $5 investment. Are you back with us, Rainey? Because, yeah, okay.
I just muted the YouTube in the background. Perfect. So you're right. You're right.
Perfect. So my question is, do you think that I was a bit too heavy-handed in my, let's not call it condemnation of children, narcotics, and alcohol? Do you think it was a little one-sided? Did you want to offer some balance to the force? Can you hear me?
No, I don't know what is happening. You're going in and out, and you're muted. It's showing that you're muted, Yusef.
No. I'm talking to you now. But what I was trying to do was make sure. Hold on 1 second. Say that again.
You're going in and out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I think my ambient noise reduction. Okay. So I appreciate your thoughts on those 2 or 3 areas. Was I too heavy-handed?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that my way isn't the only way, but it's the only way that I can teach. I don't pretend to know all the ways to secure the bag, as the cool kids say today, but I can teach people the way I did it. And that's one of the things that helped me. Now, I'm not telling people that have already gone down one of those paths that it's going to ruin anything for them, but especially for those young folks who haven't started it, it gives you an enormous advantage.
Right. I agree, because it really allows you to keep a clear focus. And not only in the things that you're doing in life, but it also helps you to have a clear state of mind when you're out socializing. It also increases your ability to be able to respond to things without you overreacting, and be able to respond in a very timely fashion versus versus a little too late or a little too slow because your senses are off.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big one. You never want your ability to perceive. And by the way, when I say senses are off, or when I hear you say senses are off, I want to reiterate. I don't just mean walking down the street. I mean professionally, being sharp
Right.
and keeping yourself aware.
Yes.
I can tell you, especially when I was younger, I've taken money away from them better than I am, because when we all go out to a company event or a mixer or a professional engagement, while everybody else is drinking beer with their sandwich, I'm walking around with a bottle of water. 2 or 3 hours in, I can tell you there's a difference. I can tell you the guys that have been a little too social with their drinking, I love watching them
Mhm.
crash and burn. And then I walk up to that same person and say, hey, I didn't know whether or not the conversation you were having was engaging, but it didn't seem like he was really showing you the world with what he can do. Let me tell you what I do. And then I come in and just rescue.
Wow.
Yeah, the game is cold. The game is cold. But like I said, I've never seen anything good coming from anything mind altering. I've seen plenty of situations where nothing bad happened, but I don't know any good situations where people said, hey, this is a great thing that happened, and I was using alcohol or drugs.
I have to agree with you. I mean, you're now actually you're allowing me to reassess and reflect on previous networking engagements with myself, where I have taken a glass of wine to mingle with everyone while networking. And you know what? I'm actually going to be more intentional now about the next upcoming events, to just sip on my water or my cranberry juice and watch others engage while I engage, but to maneuver around, like re-mingle, and to go to other areas or speak to someone else after watching them engage after partaking in alcohol, right? And just and do my own assessment. And you know what I'm saying? Like I like that. I even the times that I have not had a glass of wine while networking, among others, I haven't reflected like what you have to be able to share that difference. And I now want to do. I want to be intentional about doing that. So I thank you for sharing that.
Question: do you want to plug your profession? Do you want? I mean, it's up to you. But as someone who I really enjoy talking with, if you want a website you'd like me to show everyone or anything like that,
Okay, well, actually, yes, I will share a website where I work with a few other people doing transformation life coaching. And that is something that I am building myself up on some more as well. I didn't mean to do a whole plug. So yes, I will share in an
do the
email.
whole plug. What? Listen, if I can help you and somebody else by connecting you, good. I tell people all the time, I don't make money off YouTube or Google. People want to know how I make money? Easy. I do one thing. I do editing, copy editing, proofreading, resume writing. If you have a document that needs to be done in university level English, I do that. If anybody wants to connect with me on a professional level, I'm going to plug myself. Watch this. Let's see, where am I? There you go. Anybody wants to connect with me here, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. So now let's
Oh,
try that again. Let's try that again. Plug your page. What am I showing people?
okay, so I work with a few other individuals doing transformation life coaching and content creation, where we also create content to help companies to engage and inspire their customers, their employees, and their clients while also promoting their brand. And we do webinars as well. I am building myself up to be an individual life coach and do seminars. So I'm going to share the link And you're the first person on YouTube that I've actually shared that with, Yusef.
Oh, well,
It,
don't I feel special?
so let me go ahead and drop the link here. And we are the Prosperous Divas.
The prosperous.
Divas.
Oh, oh.
Yes. And also, what I am doing for myself is I am I'm getting myself, I'm learning to do some investing in real estate and learning how to trade on the foreign exchange market.
Is it prosperity as a mindset that can be created by anyone?
Yes, prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone.
Let's see. There you go. Okay, so you guys do weekly shows?
I'm sorry.
You do weekly shows?
Yes, we do.
Oh, look, no get rich schemes.
Thank you.
That's what it said. Do you write your own website?
Someone else in our group actually put that together in the beginning, and we're working on some rebranding and everything right now.
ProsperousDivas.com. Bang. And I hope that somebody, oh, by the way, Modern Oracle said your introduction position, your intro position, help me out understand Modern Oracle. What do you need me to repeat, or did you need her to repeat? My intro position. I don't know which one of us, which one of us, which part. I don't know whether or not you came in the beginning, middle, or end. And for the record, Modern Oracle was invited, but she was a little bit busy today. She's always got an open door. Love having conversations with her.
Hi, Modern Oracle.
She is let's see. I'm going to show you her website. If I can find it. There we are. And for anyone who doesn't know her, she has been someone who has been a positive influence on my life for quite a while. She's what I call my nice fairy godmother. And
Oh,
oh, look, she's got something new out. But here's what I want everybody to take a chance at: phyllisrawley.com. This is what she does. Anyone who Googles her, she's got a wealth of references and reputation for what she does.
okay. I just subscribed to your channel, Modern Oracle.
Excellent, excellent. So my introduction, if you weren't here earlier, my introduction was the first part was about children and how the unfair advantage I had in life was by realizing that I didn't want to have children. It gave me opportunities. It gave me the opportunity to take risks. But more importantly, if I ever chose to have children later, I would not do it at a time when I was still supposed to be building my business. Not having children, quite frankly, one of the things that I learned in the 9 years I was a financial professional is, and this is a terrible secret that I hope doesn't discourage anyone, but gives you information. When you work with family finances from a bird's eye view and you see what finances are really like for the average American family or business person, small, middle, or large, children are extraordinarily expensive. Now, they don't seem that way because, especially if you're in your 20s when you have them, they grow with you. But when you really look at what you can do with even a fraction of that money in the long term, not just for your business, but for your overall lifestyle, I would have been remiss in not factoring that into my decision. Also, for men, having children young, I don't think men should be allowed to make any major decisions until they're at least 30. That means no wife, no gun, no children, no long-term contracts, no buying a house, no buying a car. Because you don't have enough life experience to know you're stupid. Now, over 30, I know I'm dumb, but when I do something dumb or dangerous, I'm aware of it. When you're under 30, you can convince yourself it's a good idea. It could be with money, it could be with a girl. So having children that young, you don't really understand what you may be doing as far as giving anyone else in the world, including the woman you may love, the kind of leverage that children do. Because I want to freely admit something. If either of you want to correct me on this, we'll get to this one in a minute. I'm going to make a statement. If either of the women in front of me want to correct me on this, women have to claw and scratch for all the power that they're ever going to have in life, especially in the face of men. One of the ways they secure power is because they hold ultimate social and legal power over children, and being able to leverage children into power for themselves is not a bad thing. It's what nature gave them as their human animal as part of their survival tactic. But I understood by making sure I never gave that power over any woman, it ensured my treatment would be better than most men. Because I don't know a single man who is either married or has a girlfriend or just a woman he had a child with that at some point wasn't reminded. Now, most of the time it's subtle, but they've all been reminded. She's control. She's in control once children are on the playfield.
Now, you must not be trying to subscribe to the narratives of the Negro manosphere because
You have to define that. I have a friend, O'Shea Duke Jackson, who runs a website called Negro Manosphere, but
mhm,
you have to be clear about that.
what you just spoke of would not be does not sound as like something that would be supportive of the manosphere narrative. Whereas where they look at, for the most part, they criticize women for hypergamy.
I'm a little confused, not hard to do. Say that again.
Women around, it appears that women, when it and from the perspective of the manosphere, are criticized, especially Black women, for hypergamy. And any kind of control that they may have is looked upon as being a part of feminism versus one of unity and one of nurturing and being in charge of the family.
Well, let me do this. First, for reference, for anyone who's interested, a while back I wrote an article called The Manosphere. And I want, for reference, for people to go back and check that out. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. I'm just going to give you a little bit. Oh, my opening statement: 100% of men will have sex with 100% of the women they are sexually attracted to the best of their ability. That's where the manosphere comes in. It's a scary, hilarious place. And I really go into what I think being a man is and manosphere. I may have to talk about this later, but here's the interesting part. I'm not angry with women for fighting to scratch and claw for any power they can get. I was 30 years old before I realized something that, and I know people are going to come after me on this one. That's okay. Just spell my name right when you do. Women have a harder life than men. I said it. I can tell people are sharpening
Uh-oh.
their knives, about to come after me.
Oh my
They're going to
God.
come for my neck. I know it's going to submit. I'm going to get some angry comments. It's okay. Be mad. But I
Wait a
was 30
minute.
years old before I realized women have it hard. Like
You're all,
as a man with an education who's physically competent and no kids, I fuck that up would be like, I've got time. I'll be okay. With women, life is hard. Life is hard.
you're also gonna have them to come at you for having me on your panel. Oh my God, what have you done?
Why? Did I do something bad?
Oh my goodness. Well, I am an American Black woman. And with my soft voice, they will say that you're falling under my spell.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, as long as everybody's mad at me, I'm okay with that. Because one of the things that I also say is that if you're mad at how women treat you, just be better. Like, do the hard work. I'm going to do a show about this. I am just a kid who was a fat kid that wet the bed, right? I made the decision to listen to older men who put me into how the game works about I could either cry about the fact that I was treated a certain way or change it. I was willing to do the hard work. So by the time I was very early in life, I changed my whole paradigm. Now I get to lift weights, bed beautiful women, and make money. And it's not hard because I'm not that smart and I'm not that special. But whenever I hear a man complain, and this is sexist, I'm going to make a sexist statement. When I hear men complain in front of women, it makes my butthole clam up. Like, it's a bad look. That's a bad look. That's not okay. That's not okay.
Goodness.
You know, and I mean,
I am right now giving you a cyber hug, okay? It's from all the way across the borders and all the way across the waters. I am giving you a cyber hug.
why thank
And yeah, because what I have shared with people is that when men complain and they're operating actually under feminine energy, then it makes women around them and women like myself operate more in our masculine energy. Our bodies and our spirits contain both energies. It's just that we're dominant according to our gender in the energy. Like I'm supposed to be dominant in my feminine energy. You're
well,
supposed to be dominant in your masculine energy.
we are going to have to wrap it up because I got some things to do and I don't want to give everybody all the candy at once. To balance my other statement is, and I say this to men all the time. Suddenly my voice went Irish and I don't know why. There is nothing wrong with men complaining. You need to surround yourself with other strong men who can hear you and help you get better. If you don't have a group of men who have their shit together, who can look at you and say, brother, I sympathize. Let's figure out how to fix this problem. You're fucking up in life and you need to figure out a better way to do it. I'm not telling you I don't cry. What I can tell you is that I was always into martial arts. I tell women all the time, they have no idea the comments of what real locker room talk is. You know, locker room talk is rarely just talking about derogatory things about women. Locker room talk is almost a contest between men when they compete with who did how much for their wife or their girlfriend or their daughter. Locker room talk is the stress you feel after realizing I promised my family I'm going to do this, so he's going to make it happen no matter how much overtime he has to work. But they don't go out in front of their wife and say that because to your wife, you're the guy that went out, killed the monster, and brought it home for dinner.
Yes.
But who am I? Who am I? I'm just a savage. You know, I'm just a savage with this old school idea about how things should get done that's managed to make it work. Because people get mad when they realize I'm not special. They want me to be 6.5 feet tall with a six pack, and when I'm not, they're like, "How do you get to have everything? You're not even that smart, but you're financially free. Wait, you've got a gap in your teeth, but beautiful young women giggle when you talk to them. That's not fair. You must be doing something wrong." No. So listen, hey, and you know what? Omega Dre's got it right. Speaking of which, I'm going to be hitting the gym later this afternoon. That's why I had to do this now instead of later. On that note, love you all. Thank you so much, Reigning Woman, for coming by. I hope everybody has a great day. Everybody, make sure you like and please share this. I don't care where you share it. Share it somewhere, you know, on your Facebook or your Instagram or your Twitter. I hope everybody has a great day. Do you want to give us any parting shots, Reigning Woman?
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Everyone have a wonderful day. And if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe to YusefWateef. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye. Boom. I'm never sure when these things completely end.